This is a short little video to introduce the HP Chromebook that will be going into all of our elementary schools here at Lloyd Public. First, I'll just tilt the camera. You can see that instead of having a normal power button, the power button is actually here in the top right, standard power button icon on the key, but that's how you actually turn it on. When you get the Chromebooks, the carts should be all charged up. Each cart has 30 Chromebooks in it. Well, it can hold 30 Chromebooks. Some of the carts will have 15 Chromebooks just based on the allocation. But when you turn it on, it should be a pretty quick power on, only about 5-10 seconds, and you'll get to the sign-in screen, and that's where the students will sign in using their full email address. I'm just using a test account here. And the password that will make sure that all the teaching staff know what their student passwords are. But you can see that instead of where we would traditionally just put first name dot last name, you need the full email address to sign into the Chromebook. First name dot last name at lpsd.ca. Click sign in. The first time you sign in, you're going to get a welcome to Google, just sort of a pop-up screen that says just an end user license agreement, and all you want to have your students do are say I accept, continue to my account. This is the first time logging into this Chromebook, so this will give you an idea of how fast a login is. This is actually the slower process. It's a one-step process per, just if they've never signed in the Chromebook ever, this is what they'll see. But you can see that they can change what their avatar would be. So they can take a photo of themselves, or they can pick any of the default pictures. This is only for within LPSD, so it's not a big deal if they want to take a photo of themselves. It's not going to the outside world. This is just for us. So go ahead and they can choose whatever they like. So it says hello to the student, and you can take the tour, or most kids I think will just find the arrow and close it. And we're already logged in. So by default, Google will just choose a background for you. Right-clicking, or in the case of the keypad, it's double tap. So two-finger tap on the keypad, on the trackpad rather, will get you the ability to change the wallpaper. And students do have the ability to change the wallpaper to whatever they want. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It sticks with the student, not with the machine. So they can say "surprise me," and it'll just rotate through to a different wallpaper. It's of no consequence. It used to be a big deal to change the wallpaper, and IT would get upset. Not a problem. Let them do whatever the heck they want. Down in you'll see that we are running, it's not a copy of Windows. This is what's called Chrome OS. So basically it's a very lightweight operating system. It makes these Chromebooks very, very fast, and it's just the internet. So any of your traditional apps like Microsoft Office and whatnot are not on here, but you do have Google Apps. So Google Apps has a copy of Google Docs, which looks very much like Microsoft Office. So there'll be other tutorials on how to use the apps. This is just more of how to log into the computer. If you look down here on the left-hand side, the little grid, that you'll end up seeing that in a lot of when you start using Google Apps and Google Drive, you'll always see this grid, and clicking on it will bring up almost like a start menu, what you can do. Okay, so Google Chrome, that's the browser. If you've never heard of Google Chrome, it's like Internet Explorer, only I'll dare say it's better. It's a faster browser, and it works really, really well with Google Apps. There's also a store. So by default, the technology coaches have chosen a few pieces of software that are by default here. So you'll see Powtoon and Pixel Editor and a Typing Club and Natural Reader. We do have the ability to add other apps, and clicking on the store as a student will open up the browser, and it'll bring them to the Google Chrome store. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom, you can see by default it highlights this little area called For LPSD. And these are apps that the technology coaches have chosen that some are already installed, like the Pixel Editor. You can see it says already added here. But Evernote, the Evernote Web Clipper, some other software titles that the students can add. They can click on free. It'll check, say, hey, are you sure you want to add this? And a student can add it. only the software titles that are in the 4 LPSD area. So down here, only, oh, I clicked a little too clicky. So only the software titles that are in 4 LPSD are the ones that the students can add. If we go up here and if, let's say they went to entertainment and they wanted to install this a DJ tool, it will check and it'll say, do you want to add this? The student tries to add it and it should pop up and say, no, you can't do this. It's blocked by your administrator. So just to keep them on task, they can only add things that are approved by the technology coaches. Teachers, however, if you log in, you can add whatever you would like, and if there are apps that you would like your students to have access to, just bring it forward to IT and we can populate it in this 4 LPSD section. Getting back to the start menu, you can see we'll have Google Drive, Google Docs, and an area for files. Google Drive is probably the spot that you're going to be using the most. Clicking on Google Drive just opens up a new tab, and it doesn't look like much right now because if I expand my drive, you can see I don't have any files here, but if I wanted to create, let's say I wanted to use something like Microsoft Office, I would say create, and I would create a document. And as it starts to create the document, you can see it creates it's a word editor that, or like an almost like Microsoft Office, looks very similar. So I can rename the document to test, say OK. You know, all the usual things that you can do with a word processor. Highlight, change the font size, you know, I can insert an image, all of those things. And very, very straightforward to use. And then when a student, instead of, you know, emailing it to you or whatnot, they can just share it back to you. So I can put in my teacher's name here and share it with them, and you'll have access to that file right away. So, as I said, there'll be a lot more videos and tutorials, and the coaches will be available to help you out on how to use Google Docs, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what the Chromebook looks like. This will be a Files button, so I can go through and actually see what files I have. This creates a new document. I guess that is the Google Docs by default. The file, what I was thinking it was, is the files area. So as I start to build up files in Google Drive, there's that test document that I just created. The only other area of the Chromebook is down here on the right-hand side, and it used to be in Windows, if you would right-click on any of these icons, it would bring up a separate sort of menu system. This is just all one big menu, so just all you need to do is single-click on it, and it'll let you do any of these options. You can check your battery, you can sign out, shut down the machine, whatever you want to do, make sure you're connected to wireless, all of those things. You can see that all of the devices are managed by lpsd.ca, so there really is no management that the student needs to do. Closing out, all these are saved by default, so it's no problem just to close it. And when they want to shut it down, they can just come here to say sign out. And then there's a shutdown. So what clicking down here on the bottom left is the shutdown, or you can just reach up and press the power button, and that will shut the computer down. Again, that's a quick tour of the Chromebook, and hope it helps.